What's going on, guys? Boy Joe Shake 72 coming to you guys a video right now. So the Eagles pull off with a win 24-18 against the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. Saw a lot of good things in this game, and probably one thing I've noticed is that the Eagles kept their foot on the gas. They never gave up, and the defense held. They didn't get too cocky. They didn't, they didn't praise themselves too much, and they got the win. They got the win. Carson Wentz throwing that pick in the end zone was probably, the biggest mistake, in double coverage. I don't know what he saw, what he was really looking at, but that was pretty much the only mistake by Carson Wentz. Really, he missed Nelson Aguilar on a deep pass by like a fucking inch. The running backs did really well. Wendell Small ran his ass off, except when they're running him up the middle and it goes nowhere like as usual. Other than that, he scored a touchdown on a screen pass. Made some good plays today. Corey Clement, not much of anything at all. Corey Clement wasn't even a factor in this game. Josh Adams, 60-something yards rushing for the rookie. And I'm glad he's getting more playing time right now from what we have in the running back rotation. But they actually put him in the game more this game. I think right now, when Josh Adams gets a little bit of a lane, if you saw in that big run he had, a little bit of a lane, that's all it really takes. But unfortunately, he's got to try to do other things, with his run style, because if there's not an open spot, he's physical. He's very physical. Then when there's a little bit of space and he knows he's not going to get where far, he'll push into the receiver, with his head down and try to get as many yards as possible. So Josh Adams was 60-something yards for the day. Good for him. The offensive line, Jason Peters left the game. Lane Johnson left the game. Jason Peters came back, but when Lane Johnson left, Lane Johnson's injured. Apparently, it's a grade 2 MCL sprain. So, on top of his ankle sprain, now Lane Johnson is going to be out for probably a month, it says. So, he'll probably be back by the end of the season, before the end of the season hits. So, right now, they moved Isaac Seumalo, left tackle, right tackle. They put Wisniewski back in. Then Big V came in to right tackle, and Big V's having some problems. He could not hold Calais Campbell. He had a little bit of a rough day. Not as bad as we thought, but he had a rough day. So they need to figure out, with this bye week coming up now, we have the bye week now, and they need to figure out what's going on, who they're going to play, who they're going to put in certain spots, because right now, at least Jason Peters actually had a really good game, and he was pretty unstoppable on that left side. He really was. Jason Peters looked really good. Dallas Goedert had a nice touchdown, ran across, the field and, caught the ball, ran to a guy, missed the tackle, and then he went right into the end zone. I'm glad Dallas Goedert is getting his shots, and he looks so good out there, and he looks more comfortable. I'm happy to see him into this offense a little more. He's not just doing the dirty work. He's not just blocking and doing all that stuff. Zach Ertz with a touchdown as well. Zach Ertz, being that safety blanket, getting those catches, the underneath throws, getting as many yards as possible. So, with that as well, Nelson Aguilar has a few good catches. He did whatever he could. He caught a ball behind the line of scrimmage and, got a first down, got a good 6 yards. So he's good on his feet to fake guys out and get those extra yards with his feet. So Nelson Aguilar had a good game. Alshon Jeffrey, had a good game as well. Caught some balls as well. So everybody got the ball. Jordan Matthews Jordan Matthews was the leading receiver today, and he did very well. Caught a lot of nice balls, and sometimes I thought it wasn't even him. But Jordan Matthews looked really good today. So they actually kept him in a good time. They actually kept him in longer in this game, and he actually was pretty productive. So good for Jordan Matthews in this offense. So offensively, if I give it a grade, I'd probably give it, a B+ for today, because, it was not too bad, not too great, but hey, they looked pretty normal today. The protection was okay at certain times. It wasn't that. I think why I give it a B+ is just because the offensive line was still struggling. Wendell Smallwood could not pick up these blitzes, so we got no running back that can blocking and like Wendell Smallwood would pick the left side, they would blitz on the right side, and he'd be too late to pick it up. That's why when J.J. was in there, it was so much better, to get him in that game and try to, that's the problem we have blocking, picking up those blitzes. And if the running backs can't do that, Wendell Small has trouble picking up blitzes. So that's where it kind of hurts. Wentz still got sacked, twice, 3 times, I forgot. So that's why I give the offense kind of a B+ today, because the offensive line just couldn't. And we missed some, maybe missed a few catches that we could have had, a few little missed accuracy throws from Carson Wentz, which I'm not going crazy out of. Defensively, honestly, Avonte Maddox at safety did a very good job. He caused a fumble on a receiver on Clark today, and did really well. Caused a fumble, made some very good tackles, and for being a safety and being undersized, he can really pack a punch with a hit. He really can, and doing really well. Malcolm Jenkins got a little, Clark scored a touchdown. Malcolm Jenkins on a little double move back at the end zone. No big deal, because Malcolm Jenkins barely gets beat. It's one time, so it's not for a 60-something yarder. It's for, a touchdown that shouldn't have happened. But, hey, it is what it is. Ronald Darby played pretty decent today. Jalen Mills played pretty decent, but Jalen Mills is actually hurt right now with a foot injury, and I don't know if that's a blessing. So maybe putting someone else in that spot's a good decision. Rasul Douglas came in this game and actually made plays behind the line of scrimmage. Actually, the first time he was in, they ran a vertical route on him, a go route on him, and he covered it all through the way. And even though it's weird because Rasul Douglas doesn't have the speed, but he's got those legs, he's got that big body, he's got that 6'1", 6'2" body, he's got those long arms, and he can go get it. He's a ball hawk. So, Rasul Douglas, I mean, keep him on the outside if you have to. I understand it sounds weird. It's like, oh, he's not that fast, but I'm saying, yeah, he's not that fast. But depending on who you're facing, because the Jaguars they had a little bit of speed, but they don't have no elite deep threat capability. So Rasul Douglas did very well in the red zone. He made a play behind the line of scrimmage. He read the play well, and he's very fast. When he's fast running forward, he's very fast running forward. And making tackles. That I have to say. So I'm happy. Rasul, keep him in or whatever they think is right. Because Jalen Mills, I don't know. As soon as Jalen Mills got out of the game, Rasul played really well. Came in and did well. So good for Rasul Douglas. So I hope they keep it that way. Linebackers did pretty good too. Nigel Bradham and Jordan Hicks was doing all right. They had a few missed tackles here and there. They tried to make the first tackle. Jordan Hicks missed a few tackles here and there. Blah blah blah. Stuff like that. So it wasn't too bad, but they didn't play horrible. And the D line, Chris Long had 2 sacks, and Fletcher Cox did pretty fucking good. Michael Bennett got in there. Brandon Graham was kind of quiet. But it's not really about who's making sacks. It's all about the pressure and where it's going. So the pressure was actually pretty good today. It wasn't too bad. A few times the middle of the field was way too open when the pressure was happening. A little bit. So I honestly, if I was the Eagles before this trade deadline, I would probably go get another DT. I'd probably get a DT right now off a roster. That's gonna contribute. If you can't get a corner, I'd go after a D tackle and at least mask the secondary till Sidney Jones comes back and put another guy into that defensive line. Depending when Timmy Jurgens coming back, it is what it is. The more bodies you have, the better we're gonna be, and that's how it goes with that. So, so overall, we missed some chances, but this team fought today. They fought for the fans, they fought for themselves, and they fought for the whole league. They fought against the league to see, what is this identity, this team? What is this team made of? Because if they lost this game today, I'd probably say it was over. I understand that a lot of the secondary, AJ Bouye being out, and guys, all you had to worry about, Jalen Ramsey couldn't really cover Alshon Jeffrey. Not much. Jeffrey caught some good passes on Jalen Ramsey. So Carson Wentz took his shots. He said he was going to take his shots, and he did. So going into this bye week's very good. And you got the Cowboys, prime time Sunday night, coming back. So we have a little bit of rest. We have the trade deadline to look forward to. And Howie Roseman is going to hopefully add some pieces. Now, during the game, they actually was talking about, I guess they talked to Howie, or the announcers talked to Howie about, running backs and what's going on. And they asked if he made a few calls about some running backs. He said yes. Howie Roseman made some calls about some running backs. But the problem is, they're asking for too much. And I already knew that was going to be the case. So, you know, if you got to take a running back off of that's on his rookie deal right now from another team, whatever they think is right, they could do. But overall, the team finished strong. The team, you know, they're still having their little bit of shit where they're doing good going all the way downfield, and then some bullshit happens. You know what I mean? That's still happening, which has got to stop. But honestly, every time we throw the ball in the middle of throw the ball, like a medium passes to the middle of the field, we're always almost covered perfectly. And, you know, without a deep threat on the outside, you can't get those wide open underneath throws. You can't get passes like that. But they made it work today. They did. They did 3 tight end sets today. They did very little today because that's when they threw to Paul Perkins in the end zone and it turned to interception by Jalen Ramsey. Why Paul Perkins is even playing, I don't even freaking know. But, you know, you got to get a deep threat on the outside to stretch out the field because the underneath throws are covered way too tight, and we're just getting there with these catches. We're just getting there. We need someone to go over the top, someone to get some attention, someone to respect somebody's speed because closing the box on us, and no one fears this wide receiver core. You know, Jordan Matthews is going to only do so much. He's not going to go. He got actually beat somebody for a deep pass. The first time, and then the second time he got called for a penalty. Someone was holding him. So, you know, Jordan Matthews was actually beating people on verticals or little like deep slants, post routes going all the way downfield. So I was happy about that. Jordan Matthews is coming along very well and getting acclimated a lot more. And they should probably use him a lot more because he's very familiar with this offense and he's very familiar with this team. And he's got good chemistry with Carson Wentz right now. So can't really complain about that. But, you know, I'm happy the way this game went. So it is what it is. This is good. This is a good win going to the bye week. And the Eagles need to do their homework today, tomorrow, and the next day by 4 p.m. on Tuesday. And they need to bring some guys in. And you can't get it if you cannot get a corner in this room. If you cannot get a corner on this roster, my suggestion is to go get some defensive tackle depth. Get a playmaker, you know, not a big name, but get a guy like a Timmy Jernigan type of name, a mid-tier name that's going to get some pressure and do something. That'd probably be the move. If I was Harry Roseman, that's the move I'd do. If I can't get a corner, if I can't fish for a corner, I wouldn't even worry about it. I would go get a D tackle. D ends were loaded. I saw Michael Bennett playing on the inside today and the outside, so they switched him back and forth, just like Calais Campbell was switching back and forth. He switched from D tackle to defensive end and, you know, got Carson Wentz pretty damn easily. So that's really all I got to say, guys. So this is a good win. This is. So we can all just celebrate celebrate that, you know, this team does have a chance and they can actually, you know, you're thinking about a defense, right? You're thinking about this Philadelphia Eagles team. Dude, we're losing games by a possession. We're losing games by a play or two. I mean, that's it. But this defense needs some oomph to it. Okay, it needs more of a spark. Offense needs to score more points. Okay, we're getting there. 24 points. Okay, cool. Got to score 30 points a game. This is how you're gonna win this year, and you're gonna get far this year. And you need to add a playmaker. You need speed. You got Devontae Parker and Deshaun Jackson on the trade block right now. And one of those two is going to be an Eagle by Tuesday. Got a feeling. Got a feeling Devontae Parker. Dropped it again. Got a feeling Devontae Parker will be that guy. But we'll see what happens. But that's about it. So I will see you guys later. So Shake Squad up. Great win, guys. Fly, Eagles, fly.